topic that came in a couple days ago was external happiness versus internal happiness. Very, very common trope in mental health, and I've touched on this in a couple previous videos, but I think it's also valuable to give it its own video. So, external happiness is when you feel like you need to hit a certain status or you need to do a certain thing to be happy. And that will typically have a bunch of ups and downs, right? Because you can't have everything you want in your life. And so when you can't have everything you want, when you're missing those things, you feel like a piece of you is missing. And that kind of controls your happiness in here, right? And so internal happiness kind of comes from accepting that there's going to be ups and downs and being able to love yourself regardless and respect yourself enough and be kind to yourself enough, no matter what setbacks come to you, right? So this is something that I'm still working on. Uh, and when you think like this for your whole life, it won't necessarily change overnight. This is something that you have to practice. This is something that you have to be aware of pretty much all the time. And this is something that you should start planting seeds for and allow to blossom rather than trying to force it really quick. So we'll start with something from my experience. Um, Maybe like 5 years ago or so, I picked up basketball for the first time and was never really that good. I just picked it up with my friends that were playing, and they were a lot better than me. They played AAU, they played pickup like almost every day, and I was just starting, didn't know how to dribble, didn't know how to shoot, pass, play defense, whatever, kept fouling. And so I thought like I would just never enjoy basketball because I'm not good at it. And so I stopped playing that, kept playing ice hockey, and that was it. But after a few concussions playing ice hockey, I decided, a lot of my friends they still play basketball. I really enjoy hanging out with these friends. I'm gonna try to pick it up again, and I actually really enjoy it now. I enjoy it a lot more than I did before. But realistically, when I picked it up again that second time, I was equally as bad as I was before at the sport. But the difference is before I used to think sports were a source of happiness externally. So I believed that I would only enjoy sport if I was good at it, right? And so in that moment, obviously, I just started and I was not playing great. And so I wasn't happy playing. So I stopped. But then down the road, when I picked it up again, I was like, dang, like, I really enjoy playing defense. And I really enjoy like seeing people mad when I play good defense. And that's something I enjoyed in ice hockey. That's something I enjoy in a lot of sports for some reason. And so, even though I was not very good at the game, I wanted to get better because the very slim moments where I'd be good, they felt super fulfilling to me. And so, when I continued playing, I would have some games where I'd play like really good defense, make some really good passes, get buckets where I could. Other times, not so much. Other times, I would get blown by all the time. I'd go like 0 for 10, whatever. And that didn't really change how much I enjoyed the game though, the second time around. Because I realized that, you know, I was just starting. I was playing against people that had played for a long time, but just playing the game felt so much more worth it to me because I knew that even though I was coming down, I would also have moments where I had an up game too. And because I loved myself and I had so much fun playing, it was fine to have those bad games. And I would just stick with it and just be like, okay, let's run it back, you know? And I think that's where you really find what you love is even when you're not doing the greatest, just still loving it enough to stick through it should be enough to stay. And to get to there, you kind of have to rewire how you think, right? That happiness that you chase externally is a choice. You choose to tell yourself, if I don't have these things, I will not be happy. What if instead of that, what if you chose to say, I'm proud of the best that I'm doing regardless, and I'm working towards becoming a better version of myself. And so, in that, no matter what happens, I am still happy and proud of myself. And so, that's the thing with it. That's the difference between my first attempt at basketball and my second, right? First one, I believe that if I wasn't as good as my peers, I would not have fun playing this game. And the second time around, I told myself, I love hanging out with my friends regardless. And there are very slim moments that I do play well, and I want to work to have those moments again because those moments make me so happy. And so you can tell yourself that in a lot more aspects than just sports. You can go to class and you can tell yourself, I'm doing my best, taking my notes, I'm going office hours, I'm asking the right questions, doing practice problems. And no matter what I get on my, no matter what scores I get, I'm okay with how I did because I know that I put my best into it rather than simply saying, if I don't get an A in this class, I'm cooked or whatever, right? For me, sports kind of rewired my brain to think in a different way. But on top of that, for me personally, uh, going into religion and building a deeper connection with God has helped me more. And obviously, that's your choice. But for me, that kind of helped build on to what I learned from sports. And so you really have to find your niche. For me, that was sports and relationship with God. I can understand if you're an atheist, it might be something else, maybe family or something, but you really have to rewire how you perceive yourself, and you have to make a conscious decision of how you treat yourself and what you consume. If you consume the thoughts that tell you I'm not good enough, I can't have fun if I'm not getting a 4.0 or something, that's a choice that you're making. So you can choose to keep yourself miserable until you reach some external goal, and then that hits you at a high, and then you go back to a low and high and low. Or you could kind of be at not necessarily the full high, but just be at a state of equilibrium the whole time, a state of peace, and in that, a state of happiness, right? You can accept that no matter what happens, you're trying your best, and realistically, you should never be disappointed in trying your best. Um, and understand if you've thought in a certain pattern your whole life, maybe your parents taught you that you weren't valued if you didn't have external values, then it's obviously hard to rewire that right away, right? But just the first step is being aware of that, and then choosing what to listen to, which voice to listen to. And so oftentimes you might find yourself more motivated when you listen to one voice, and then even though that happens, that one voice, when you go lower, it will keep dragging you down. And so instead of that, why not just tell yourself, I'm going to do these things because I love them. And, and I'm going to love myself no matter what happens in them because I love them, right? Okay. That that might wrap up this video. I think this is a pretty fun topic, very important, very easy topic to have a lot of personal anecdotes for. And I hope you guys enjoyed this one as much as I did.